Three, two, one. What?
It's a mirror and a webcam, apparently, as he's checking his hair. All I can
Oh
see
yeah.
is floof on mine, so...
Yeah, mine looks kind of crap today too, but that's okay.
What? I didn't say mine looked crap, I said it was floofy. What do you mean mine looks crap too?
I speak Samuel.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen?
I mean, you look great. You look great. Look at my shirt.
Okay. That's a bit big. That's funny.
I also got an olive green one that has the little patch here that has nothing on it. It just looks like Velcro and it's got an X.
Now these ones that you got specially just because you just watched Stargate, or is that one that you had like months ago just because?
No, got it because of the gate.
He has been converted. One of us. Everyone say one of us. One of us. One of us. For Stargate love.
Something like that. Anyway, you guys are here to talk about other things like lower decks. And
but you watched
characters.
the season 4 finale and Hive opening, didn't you? With the big mothership off. Right?
I did. I said yes.
Why you went away? What do you think?
It's fucking great.
See, that's what mothership should look like.
It was really, really well done. I really enjoyed it.
And even the CGI
and is that
holds up really
motherfucker
well.
finally dead now?
Sort of.
I mean, there's no way you can survive. It was so fine, sort of. He gets replicator, doesn't he?
I mean, do you really want him to be dead? You know?
Yes, I don't like him.
But he looked great though with his half eye and.
He looked like a Phantom of the Opera, like a.
Yep, I can see that.
Futuristic Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, but I just love those two because you get so much good ship action, and that's like we're gonna do space CGI that we just have not done in Stargate. That's why it escalates. Like, oh no, now we're doing space shit. The little team that could. We've got some spaceships, you know.
Ozzy throws in $5. All hail the Superior Commander and Super Captain Foley. He got slime fertilizers today. Yeah, skeleton ants. What slime fertilizers? What do you mean?
That does not sound great. I'll be honest.
No. And Fleet Pass Whipback puts in $2. Samuel, don't spoil it. I'm on season 2.
Well, Stuart said a spoiler, and I unspoiled it a little bit.
I don't even know. You don't even know who I'm talking about. I could be talking about
O'Neill. Yeah. Or Daniel. Or Hammond. Or Percy Pig.
Okay. Yep. All those things. But yeah, so we're here today, guys, to talk about the characters in Lower Decks and our first impressions of them. I know it's only been one episode. I'm sure we're going to revisit this at the end of the season to let you know our thoughts on how they impressed us or didn't.
First impression.
Whoa.
So we get to episode 5 with the 5th impression. Every week, the 2nd impression, they go to the 3rd impression. But I'll start sharing as you do your 450th impression of the Super Chat intro.
And hit play. Hey guys, guess what? Super chats are great. They help us out. We've already got 2, which is awesome. Everybody who's here, 60 of you, please hit like. That also helps out. A lot of ways to help out the channel. Those are the 2 best ways. One of the other ways is just obviously subscribe if you're not already. And if you're not already, why not? Just subscribe and click the notification. Make sure the bell notification is clicked to all instead of just the standard, because YouTube's remarkably bad at not letting people know what's going on. So it gives you just a little bit more of an advantage in that case, even though once you click all, it still doesn't really work that well. So thanks, YouTube. You can also support us by heading over to Patreon/Trekyards or joining the channel. Joining the channel is fun. If you join these lives quite often, you can join the rank of Commander, Captain, or Admiral and outrank us right away if you want, or become the rank of your favorite Trekyards host. That's why we have more captains. It's a true story. Or you can head on over to Teespring store and pick up some cool merchandise. Lots of great things down in the description. So check them out. They help you out, they help us out. And yes, I'm back now, so that's a good thing. Anyway, yeah. I was gonna say, oh yeah, if you're gonna use the Eaglemoss discount code, it's very important that you the Eaglemoss link in the description to get there. Because if you don't, chances are the link or the discount code might not work. Plus, it also keeps track of all the traffic from our channel, which really shows them that there's a lot of people that are interested. So make sure you click the Eaglemoss link and then use the discount code. That's very, very super important. Kind of annoying, but yeah, it's just the way it is. So if you can do that, please do. And consider also, if you need to send us a PayPal, if you don't want to send a super chat, you can do that as well. All the information for that is down in the description of every video. So yeah, or head on over to Trekyards.com, which is a thing that exists. And probably needs to be updated, but that's okay. There's also a donate button there if you want to send us a PayPal that way. It's perfectly doable. Just let us know in the chat that you're sent the PayPal, and then we'll read the comment or question via email. Just let us know, so the moderators can let us know. And Samuel's back now.
That he is.
Yay!
So we've got 90 people watching, 51 likes. That seems underdone. I'll be honest. More likes. Give me the likes. I'm just saying. And guys, you guys are going to like something special that we're cooking up over here at Trekyards HQ. So expect something cool sometime very soon. I'm staring at 4 things that look the same but are very different. And Stuart knows what I'm talking about.
Do I?
Yes. We just talked about it off air. Okay. He pays attention, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think it correlates to what we were talking about. But 4 things. What?
Okay.
I'm confused.
Well, for parts that go towards building.
Yes. Then I totally know what you're talking about.
There we go.
I thought there's 4 characters on screen, so I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yes. No, lower decks. Brand new crew. And just like Discovery promised and failed to produce, the story of those lower in the chain of command that are on more than low decks. Completely wrong marketing for Discovery. This show, much more apt. We have these 4 low decks, although you could argue the Doctor is a middle deck.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's not a primary bridge crew, but she's still a more superior officer than these guys. And of course the bridge crew, which one dude we've only really seen in the next time on with the weapon line, but I have pictures of everybody. But any sort of general thoughts as we jump in?
I'm kind of hoping that Mariner calms down a tad.
Which one's Mariner?
But that's the main lady that starts out being drunk.
Which is funny because she was mean, so you wouldn't, as in she was more somberly mean. So just she suddenly gets exuberant at times. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Why can't I find the thing that I was looking at earlier with all of the crew names?
Yes, thank you. That would be. And this is Jericho. I need to see them more before I can have an opinion. And we saw Little, the Captain Commander. Yes, I mean it's all first reaction. Although I think, as I've said in one of our reviews, this is the best job at us liking the characters compared to Discovery and Picard. So I've got a much more clear who I think these people are than those 2 shows. And to a great extent, Enterprise and Voyager. I think Voyager knew some of the people, but it was sort of like just Starfleet-esque. And DS9, you kind of knew them by their rank and what they're going to do. Like, Kira's a mean terrorist lady, ex-terrorist lady. Like, you don't know who she is, just know her, like, her bio. You know what I mean? It's like in Voyager, it's like, well, he was the ex-terrorist Marquis. Command Man. That's his world. And Paris is the ex-con, who's also funny. Like, this show, I think we can describe the people more already,
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got, this doesn't even have their full names, unfortunately.
Well, I don't think we know their first names for some of them.
We do. They were all listed in the thing I had earlier. God damn it. Give me a second here. Let me find it. Talk. Do things.
And tomorrow, guys, we're going to do the full next time on, or this season on, which has a lot of really cool stuff. And we kind of stayed away from talking about that in our previous review just because there's a lot of cool stuff there. Including some actual Klingons. Haven't had actual Klingons. Although 09, there were some actual Klingons in the background. They just showed the bald guy only, like, whatever. Since 2005, so again, good. But I like these people, and as I said before, the black lady, the black ensign, who's obviously the in essence the primary, although it's more an ensemble for, which is good. It's a team, kind of like Red Dwarf. There's a few key people. Didn't like her at the start per se, but you're not meant to because she's just a bit mean. But like any sort of plot character thing is justifiable if it makes sense and there's a reason. It's like you can kill Kirk's son, who we all liked from 2, if there's a reason and it causes more drama. It might suck, but there can be a reason, or that you don't want Kirk to be prejudiced against Klingons in Star Trek 6, but it makes sense. So there's no sort of jump here. There's no leap. So while it's not ideal, it can make sense. And so I understand her a lot more, and so I get why she's being the way she is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll do a quick run through just so we kind of know the names and the character development. Yep. I can't find the thing with their first names, unfortunately, which is dumb. But anyway, so we got Tawny Newsom, who plays Ensign Mariner. So she's just disillusioned with the upper ranks. Thinks that they're all glory hogs. Don't give any credit to anybody else on the team. So, and she's also the daughter of the captain and the admiral. Got Jack Quaid, who plays Ensign Boimler, who's very eager to be in Starfleet, wants to be a captain at some point, but seems like he's kind of incompetent a little bit, and is going to screw up a lot.
Well, he's a fresh face. I mean, he's just out of the academy a year ago. I mean, he's as newbie as you could possibly. I don't want to go as far as to say he's incompetent. He just has no experience at all. So
yeah.
I mean, it's not as if you'd have said Kim felt superbly qualified in episode 1. He felt okay, but they didn't focus on him. But yeah. Then
we got Noelle Wells, who plays Ensign Tendi, and she's just fresh out of the academy. This is her first posting. She's super excited, super eager to be there, super happy to do anything, and I love that excitement. We got Eugene Cadero, who plays Ensign Rutherford, and he's the cyborg guy who's dealing with a new implant, Vulcan implant, with the logic suppressing whatever, and he's super focused on his job. Like, he's in engineering. He wants to make sure that things work properly, and which I think is going to be great. He's going to end up solving a lot of problems for them, probably. So that's cool.
He seems like Scotty might have been as an ensign.
Yeah.
Because when Scotty gets to be already the chief engineer, he doesn't need to impress anybody. He's just kind of trying to keep the ship together in a genius sort of way. This guy's like, I have all this knowledge and passion. Put up so much energy! Ugh!
Yeah. And dealing with the fact that he's also now technology as well as, I think that's kind of a neat tie-in. So, there we go. We got Don Lewis, who plays Captain Carol Freeman. So different name than Mariner.
Carol Freeman.
Yeah.
Names are hard. I've written quite a few people's names. Names are hard. Carol Freeman.
We can assume that she's maybe got the Admiral's last name. The Admiral is just listed as Admiral, played by Phil Lamar. No last name as of yet, by the looks of it. So, don't know why Mariner has a different last name. I'll be interested to find that out. And the captain seems competent enough, but I don't know. She's obviously captain for a reason, right? So, Jerry O'Connell, of course, is Commander Jack Ransom, who, typical first officer, I think, considering the fact that he didn't go to sick bay and follow protocols after being bit by an alien bug.
He's kind of a less charming Riker.
So far, yeah.
Kind of the less talented, less charming Riker, which is fine. I mean, you've got to be a certain personality type to want to be a captain, and a lot of people want to be second in command. Although, as we said in our previous review, him being the voice actor they hired has not played any benefit to the show yet. I didn't realise that the captain, the admiral, they're the guys from Futurama that were married. That to me is more impressive than getting this actor that was in Sliders, who I have not followed his career at all since. That's cool, but having those two together is even cooler.
Yeah, yeah. Nice little behind the scenes nod that not a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
would know about. So we got Fred Tatascore, who plays Lieutenant Shaxis or Shax. That's the Bajoran security officer. He's going to be fun to watch. Let's blow up the warp core. I got the warp core targeted. Please let me fire. Yeah, he's kind of like the Worf, very trigger happy, gung ho. But from a Bajoran, it's weird. It's like he's grizzled and hardcore because of the occupation, I guess. But you don't expect Bajorans to really be, they're more artists and,
Wimps.
peace-loving people. Wimps is a strong word, but
Well,
sure.
peace loving. Well, he reminds me of the character from Star Trek Renegades, the fan film like movie pilot, where he's just like absolutely vengeful. He even follows the Par Wraith, so he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill them all, and we're like, okay, that is a death Bajoran.
Mm-hmm.
Cool stuff. Although, yeah, I think you're right. I think he's gonna be the allegory for Worf, but in a more like gonna make fun of his post.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's lost use of an eye, etc. He's in not a good way. But they've already made they've already hung a lantern to an expression where if you do something odd, as long as you mention it in dialogue, the characters say, "Well, that's a weird car." That you've explained it in the universe, so they've already said, "Wow, he's so misproportioned," because we're all thinking, "Why the hell is he so buff?" But in a silly looking way, because it doesn't matter. They've said in the dialogue, so that's okay.
And Jill47 says maybe IMDb lists the Admiral's last name. It doesn't, because I'm looking at IMDb right now. So we also have a Gillian Figman for Dr. Tiana, which is the Cetacean Doctor. Again, I think she's going to be one of the more favorite characters, just kind of with her attitude.
Well, very Pulaski-like, but with more jokiness. Well, I mean, she seems like an annoying lady who you don't want to like. Who has quips, but isn't much beyond that. I mean, Rob Picardo, he had annoying quips in season 1, and they very quickly evolved him out of that. Because it's not fun to have someone who's mean to people. You know how Saru hated Burnham, and then they completely ignored that in season 1.5 and 2? Yeah, people hating people sucks. So I can see her evolving pretty quickly out of just being a bit annoying. Not that it's bad, it's just a joke that only goes so far. It's like with the Wolf allegory. You can only go so far with that. Otherwise, he's just a punchline, not a character.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, 261. Wow, that was quick. 60 again at 100. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 133 of you here. If you guys hit like, that'd be awesome. And we also have Ozzy, who throws in $5 and says maybe the captain was using her maiden name, Skeleton Hands. Well, that's what I said. Her last name is Freeman. Her daughter's name is Mariner, which means that would be the Admiral's name, more than likely, unless there's a complicated situation where she was married before and then she got with the Admiral and it's like it's her stepdad, or I don't know. It could be. Yeah.
I mean,
who knows?
It's just not the same surname that's important as the two, because would you want to have your
Ensign Picard come to the bridge?
Exactly. Yeah.
You're getting in shit.
Yeah, it's not gonna do too well. And in fact, and ironically, my fan from Temporal Anomaly, one of the characters is a descendant of Archer, and he doesn't like his descendant of Archer because it puts a lot of pressure on you. If Kirk had many kids, do you not think that Reginald Kirk IV would be looked upon with a sense of ooh,
Yes. So we also got Jessica McKenna, who plays Ensign Barnes. I can't think of who that is right now. Ensign Barnes.
I assume that's the Trill?
No, that's Noel Wells is Ensign Tendi.
No, Tendi is the Orion. That's a Trill.
Oh, the Trill. Oh, yes, you're probably right. Yes.
I mean, it's the only other person that actually had. What did you say the character name was?
Ensign Barnes. So yeah, that would be the Trill. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Which is interesting if she's actually in it more than one. I kind of assumed she was a one-off joke. But I mean, Trill's a lot of potential character, literally and figuratively, inside them, literally and figuratively.
True story.
Oh gosh, Mr. Andy says, too fast, poor jokes, no respect for the past lore or characters. No respect for the past? What show are you watching, sir? It's amazingly faithful to canon and the most canon we've had in almost 20 years. in the sense of 15, but rounding up to sound more impressive.
Yeah, this is the most canon thing we've got from the new Trek so far. So.
And I mean, you could easily argue since Voyager, people like Stuart who thought Enterprise was really effing with it. This is the first one since Voyager, so the 2001. So there you go, 19 years since we've had real post TNG Prime canon feel alike, as in look alike, feel alike. That's a long time, guys, to have been devoid of that sort of world. And it would have been fine if, like in 09, they actually had like Spock, Spock in the present, looking like like the E flies in and there's a they could have made that be whatever. But let's go from because I've got this in order of how we're introduced. So yeah, we get the potentially just the white guy. In essence, he's the token white guy. Whatever. I really don't care about the race or whatever, but some people do. I guess that's a comment. I don't care if he's a bit daft. Doesn't offend me. It's all good. He's interesting enough. What do you think of him for this episode, though? Because he was,
Boimler. He's going to be one of those ones that tries to get ahead and do the right thing and is going to mess it up all the time. I mean, we see a little bit of that on the this season on, where any option, give me something. Just move 88 or whatever he says. A little bit too eager to get to the captain's chair, I guess. Hopefully it gets, he's the comic main character. So, you got to expect Mariner's probably going to be helping him out quite a bit. They're going to be the team for this show. And I thought he was fine in this one. I like the captain's log idea. Like, I'd probably be doing the same thing as an ensign. I'm doing my 5 logs a day. Try to be like on top of it, and yeah.
Well, you wanna your heroes, the best officers in the fleet, have been captains because an admiralty runs the shop back home, but the captains go out and do what Starfleet's about. Captain's the rank you aspire to. Admiral is the rank that you're kind of forced to take at a certain point, unless you can ignore it. Captain is where it's at. You have your ship you go out and do, and so yeah, you're looking up to these people, and why wouldn't you try and do that sort of thing? We really haven't had a show where, I mean, hey, if you look at Tilly, she was ensign fresh. Well, in fact, if you go by Stowe Canon, which was meant to be whatever, she was actually taken out of the academy before she finished because of the Klingon War, or etc. etc. So she was also fresh-faced, Asperger's over enthusiastic, saying stupid stuff. Ensign. So we have had that trope already, but ensigns who like their job flying on a spaceship is quite a cool thing. We haven't really seen that before. As a hero who's actually the hero. So it's going to obviously be a different vibe, and you wouldn't expect him to be the most sophisticated and most trained officer, because he's an ensign. He was in school last year. Do you really think the best filmmakers are the ones that graduate first, the year after university? Now, yes, they might be talented innately, but they're probably not going to use the best cameras and the best audio and the best CG because it takes time and experience. So it's going to be a different vibe. So it kind of depends if you like him or not. And he's likable. He's positive. You can relate to him as a wanting to be Starfleet, and I think we all want to be Starfleet in some way because they represent a very good, positive way of the future. And he's just like, awesome. He's just, like you say, he wants to be captain, which is fair. But maybe focus on being a department head first, and then getting an actual cabin first. Start small.
Try to be the best ensign you can be first.
That's how you get noticed. I don't think Picard he wasn't gunning for the captain's chair. Kirk may have been, but Picard wasn't gunning for it. He got there via someone dying and he had to take over, but also through skill.
Yeah. James McGill, $2. What characters from other Star Trek great to see on lower decks? Any of them? I'd like to see the Doctor make an appearance. I think that would be great.
Well, we know some are going to appear this season, so we can always place bets on who's most likely.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit more in this season on.
That's fair.
I'm wondering if the Klingon's somebody we know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Kern. Oh my dad, it's Kern.
That's I haven't thought of that, but yeah, why bring in the most heroes? You can always have more fun stories with the side characters. I mean, hey, Barkley would be a great shout.
Oh, broccoli. I almost said.
Have him be
Barkley would be great.
because he would work really well in like his vibe of being brilliant yet dumb sometimes would work very well vibe wise, and he can just rattle off dialogue and he can science the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine this guy being like, oh, or the Orion like, oh, what's it like working with Picard? Well, I was a vegetable for 2 years. What? But then I got respect after I saw Zephyr Cochrane pee. What? It was a weird couple of years. Hey,
You gotta wonder though, is that Zephyr Cochrane thing? Is it public knowledge, or would that be top secret that they went back in time?
I don't know. I could argue for either.
I could too.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun one though. But yeah, that's a good one to talk about tomorrow though. Who do you think?
Yeah. Fleet Pass Swiftback $2. Harry Kim still an ensign. Oh good God, that'd be funny. Yeah, we got a senior ensign arriving on the ship today.
He's doing ensign training. Yeah. He's like, hello, I'm Ensign Harry Kim. Hello, Ensign Harry Kim. I've been ensign for 21 years. No, I see those stun stances, but I'm as I told my captain Janeway, I'm probably the best ensign I could be. And to be fair, my first day, I was a bridge officer. So even as an ensign, you can be a bridge officer for 7 years in a starship. You can do that. Don't let your rank stop you from being a bridge officer. And the guy's like, why we listen to him? He wasn't promoted in 22 years. I heard that. He heard that.
Well, you got to think that he would be like Mariner's like hero. He's been in Starfleet so long, done so much, and he's still an ensign. He hasn't got to those higher levels that she doesn't respect or like. Like she would look up to him.
Oh, would it be great if in Lower Deck there's a joke where it's revealed that actually Kim was offered promotion like 6 times and always refused it because that means he couldn't be on the bridge or something. Like there's some technicality. It's like, no, I was offered. So what do you mean? You asserting I wasn't offered promotion in 12 years? No, I was offered it. I just refused it. Wouldn't that be a lovely little like left turn for the fan base? It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, the whole episode just to piss off Garrett Wang, and the whole episode is basically it's a clarinet recital. Like his big reappearance is just they go to a famous person's clarinet recital. It's Harry Kim. It's like, what? That's why we brought it back after 20 years. CBS.
Like that would be funny. That'd be comedy gold, but that kind of disrespects Harry Kim's character a little bit.
But then he'd have to be an admiral.
That would be better. Yes, that'd be better. But then that's canon, I guess. CBS would say so.
I'd be funny. I'd be fun to be an admiral. It's funny.
I would too.
I mean, he did some useful stuff.
Immediate jump up because of the 7 years in the Delta Quadrant. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it'd be kind of fun if we did get like a Voyager, because this is meant to be the Voyager year of 25 years or whatever of Voyager. So it would be smart of them to actually include Voyager cast specifically because that's this year. Wouldn't it be kind of fun if they did a flashback where they get home and it's actually the entire Voyager cast in one scene, even though it's only one primary, and they're like, right, Admiral Picard, oh, although he wasn't Admiral, Admiral someone else, everyone's getting promoted because of you weren't promoted for so long. Promotion, Harry Kim. Promotion, yeah, and it becomes, Commander 2, I guess it was just, everyone's a captain. Everyone's promoted to captain except Kim and Paris.
Well, I was watching Egotastic Fun Times take on this last night, and he said that this happens 2380, which is fine. It's because what it does. And that's a year before Admiral Picard leaves Starfleet. And I'm like, I don't think that works out quite right.
So you're after Nemesis, and he was definitely in Starfleet for...
Yeah.
Maybe after the E, but that's not right.
Anyway, just wanted to mention that in case anybody is thinking that, but...
Yeah, we read those exhibits.
Yeah.
And that was definitely not...
Dave Stelzer, $2.
Hey.
Admirals Jack, Patrick, and Lauren from DS9 return. Ah, yes. That's a stupid question. They're the don't you remember who they are? They're the ones that were genetically altered and were kind of different. Jack was neurotic, and Admiral Patrick. That's a dumb question.
Bashir's friends.
Yeah.
He left in '87, so 7 years after Holodeck's episode 1. 7 years.
Sense. Yep.
Yep. And he left the Enterprise E 5 years later, so he's still on the E for a while.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah. So I mean, I can see a lot of possibilities for a lot of characters to just make a small cameo, and you got to think these guys like hero worship these legendary Starfleet officers. So I mean, they've mentioned Worf. They've mentioned. I can see Deanna Troi showing up absolutely. For some reason.
I mean, that's the thing. This is the best show to bring them back. Even like George Takei and Walter Koenig. I mean, we've seen Walter Koenig even did this, Russian accent like a couple of months ago for a video online. It's just like when he does that, it suddenly sounds like he de-ages a bit. He's kind of like putting more energy into it, and it kind of like it just feels more. Like if I was them, I would absolutely. I mean, I know they charge quite a lot, as you'd imagine, but I would get Walter and George right on the bat, because that's gonna. I mean, think about it. You had the epic Nimoy DeForest. Well, DeForest wasn't particularly epic, but he was there.
It was in the pilot. It's very important.
It just wasn't very epic in the pilot, but it was good.
No, it wasn't.
But you had Scotty and Spock. They're back. So they got they're back. So why not give George and Walter a great they're back in this show? I mean, both could still be alive. I mean, Chekhov especially, he was much younger than McCoy, and that was a good 15, 20 years ago. And in Trek ages, that's not a problem. Like, they don't necessarily have to be in Starfleet, because if they were still in Starfleet, doesn't make Picard look stupid? He retired, and Chekhov's still in Starfleet. Picard retires, and Chekhov's still working away. He's 45 years older than Picard. He's still working away.
It would be cool if even Kirk could make an appearance as like they're watching an old when he was giving a lecture at Starfleet Academy years ago or something. They're watching it on a pad or something. Easy to do. So yeah, I mean, lots of possibilities for that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, hey, wouldn't that be kind of fun if they do like a Walter and George reunion, and they visit Holodeck and Kirk's there. They bring back Kirk for memories. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to film it together because they don't like each other as much. And then there's because Shatner likes self-deferential humor as long as it's clever, deprecating. So you can imagine if he like has a good chunk of scene, it'd be quite a funny whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. James McGill, $2. Love to see Morn DS9 do what he does best. Shrug. I could see Morn totally making an appearance. Absolutely. Jill 47, $2. We need an emoji for a sarcastic Vulcan salute. Hey, if we get enough, I think we need a few more members to join the channel, and then I can add more. I can definitely make one that's like this. That'd be funny.
But I
could do it.
And I don't think I'd be a fan of that, because that feels like something that someone who's someone who doesn't like Star Trek is doing it to mock Trekkies. But in the universe, it's kind of like, I mean, it's the most respectful salute you can. So it kind of like it's a symbol.
This means die immediately and decay. That's what that means. It's the opposite.
Oh, had to think about that. Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's clever in its own way. I wouldn't have thought of it.
Yeah. SWTX Chaser puts in $5. I like that they avoided the Mary Sue issue with having Mariner been demoted. Yeah. I think that's a great story too. She just served on 5 ships. Was one of them the Enterprise D? That would be fun. Who knows?
Wouldn't it be great if they do Family Guy or American Dad-esque cutaways back to the Enterprise D, essentially? Oh, that reminds me of Enterprise D. Cuts back and Patrick's voicing is like, Mariner! Enter Mariner! Yes? I spilt my tea. Because that's what they said in this episode with him. So that would make sense.
I spilt my tea, and it's Earl Grey. Be careful, it's hot. And then he walks away. Yeah, that's more a Family Guy or American Dad humor, though.
But here's a picture like Bullock in those sorts of cutaways as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I do think that we're going to get a Patrick cameo, given the fact that he's currently on contract with CBS, and it makes sense for cross promotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's on the E, and he doesn't have to be, he's in a space suit as they called it, but without actually having to wear anything. I mean, he's not naked while recording the audio. He could be, but gets him in uniform correctly.
Yeah. Fleet Paw Swiftback within $2. I'd love to see a tribute to Aaron and Renee in this.
Yeah.
There might be, yeah.
I mean, this is the sort of show that they can easily have them re-record some dialogue to swap out an ensign or a Captain Didder to Captain Nog, etc. Although that'd be too quick for him. But hey, I mean, first Ferengi and Starfleet. If they do a Ferengi episode, then mention him in some good way. Yeah.
Let's talk a little about Mariner now instead of. I think his name is Jack Boimler. I forget his first name. Goddamn.
I like him so far. He's got potential. And his purple hair doesn't stand out as much as it could.
Yeah, it's future. Anything's possible. Yeah, Mariner I like. I just wish she'd slow down a little. She's very, very just did a line of coke, always on the go. Bugs me a little bit, but hopefully the pacing will change a little bit for that. Like we said, even with Orville, I mean, the first episode or two are the most silliest, and then it kind of finds its groove. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this show necessarily, but it'll be interesting to see how the evolution of that goes. But there's definitely a story there with her.
Yeah, she's definitely is the arc of the show. And they did a good job to set her up. And I don't buy Mary Sue-ness. The fact that she's an ensign means she can't be Mary Sue, otherwise she wouldn't have been demoted so hard. She, and she's probably so whatever that she wouldn't even be in Starfleet anymore unless her family connections kept her in, which is like the opposite of Mary Sue-ness, in a sense. But I can see them not, I mean, you could also argue then the engineered guy, because everything he did was correct, and I mean the doctor, Mary Sue, they fixed the problems. Like, yeah, it's their job. But I like the ambiguity of where and how she was ranked. And if it was a real actress, you could get a sense of age. I have no clue how old she's meant to be. And we saw in a recent TNG one, there's in the violin recital, there's like a 65, 70-year-old who was like a lieutenant junior grade, and it's like that's a pretty high age for such a medium rank. So she could easily be in her 30s, and we couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't necessarily think anything of it, because like you always say, we can join Starfleet whenever. So that's kind of annoying to not know. She sounds fresh-faced, but again, you're gonna act. I mean, even now, you're in your 60s, you feel like you're in your 40s. Early 50s in terms of like vitalization compared to your parents, your grandparents. And so in this era, she could be in her 40s, and you still feel like your 20s because everything's working fully. Your eyes are fully proper. You know what I mean? Those sorts of ages don't matter as much. And she was doing coke, so I mean that does not help.
Yeah, I figure she's probably in her early 30s would be my guess. But I could be wrong, and we don't know how far she was demoted as well, which. Because she has a captain and an admiral for parents, she kind of put her nose to the grindstone and got ranked up quite a bit, and then did something really stupid or whatever and got demoted. So it'd be interesting to find out that story. Plus, finding out the other 5 ships she served on, they made a point of saying the 5 ships. I'm excited to know that because there might be little Easter eggs there as well. So
that is quite a few ships as well.
Yeah. Yep. She could have started off on the best one, like the Enterprise, like I said, and then as she keeps doing stupid things and getting demoted or transferred, now she's on the Cerritos, which is like the most unimportant ship in the fleet.
which though, that's a great segue then to the mum for a second, just to jump to the mum. I mean, she's captain. If this is sort of a punishment for the daughter, what does it say about the captain?
What's it say about the admiral? That's probably authorized it or helped get her that. I don't know. That's a good point.
Well, it says that the man of the house is the most qualified, is the most talented officer, which is nice for women power. It's nice to have the guy be of the 3 of them. I unless you like the desk job. I mean, there's also types of admirals. Although we had this discussion again with someone on the chat about, you know, half pip admiral. You know, given benefit of the doubt, it wasn't a mistake.
I think it's just a new style for the show.
Unless this ship is more important than we think. I don't know if I'd like there to be some deeper mission, some deeper useful thing, some grander multi-season arc, because we're only getting 2 seasons, which is pretty epic, so they can plan some stuff. But obviously, who can you trust more than your own wife? Well, that's debatable. But normally, who you could trust more than your own wife to go on an important mission? Maybe for part of the second contact, she has to get resources, blah blah blah, and then the daughter is a spanner in that work. So like, well, how am I meant to do this useful mission from, you know, Mr. Admiral? Oh, I'm trying to add more depth here, but once you pointed out, well, yeah, this is not a good ship, Admiral. You know, all the crew.
And there's also the possibility for the Admiral Dad to have other cameos as well, like or at least reference people. Yeah, I got a meeting with Captain Picard. He's getting a promotion soon or something. Something along those lines. I
know you're at the fart planet, sweetie, but I'm about to go have dinner with Picard on the Enterprise E. Not bragging. And he's got the chef from Enterprise. He was in cryogenic stasis for 200 years. Hey, one-off appearance, but don't worry. Oh, hi, Mr. President of the Federation. Oh, hey. Oh, Chancellor Martok, my God. Empress Sealer. Wow, this is a historic meeting of... Cut 2 hours later. So how's the fart planet?
Yeah, that would definitely work, something like that. Mailbag Banner says Dadmiral, which I like. That's what we should call him from now on. John Woke puts in $2. Deep cover mission to recruit Packlids for a war. Oh my God. Maybe they're the Canon police. They know that there's something screwy with the timeline. So
what, the Packlids?
No. That's Cerritos.
Well, that'd be great if there's in Discovery a Packlid ship. It's like, you are not Star Trek. We will not let you go. Packlid should show up. That they would be funny to see. That'd be a fun.
We'll probably see one in the background or something. At least.
Oh, they should retcon in. Because retcon's occasionally okay. When the Packlids should be on. So when we see the Klingons, right? There should be a scene where a Packlid walks up to the bar, and the Klingons there is like, Jaleb, my good old friend, you joined me on the great Tribble hunt. We fought bravely together. It's like, of all the races in the known galaxy, Klingons and Packlids in the great Tribble hunt. They, the great alliance of 2147, the Packlids and the Klingons, to defeat the evil Tribbles. That'd be perfect.
Jill asked, did the Cetacean in the animated series have yellow eyes? Yes, she did. Absolutely. As most cats do. So, there you go. Eric says, when Cerritos is mentioned, I think of Doritos. Yeah.
I didn't even put that together. That's true.
That's the best way to remember the name of the ship, because I was mispronouncing it at first. So everybody's like, just think of Doritos. Cerritos. Okay, cool.
Now, I wonder if the age of the actress is anything to go by with the Boimler character. I don't think that necessarily. But she is 37. Well, that's a bit older than I thought it was going to be. So, for the completely unimportant, unuseful way, Boimler, who is definitely older than Ensign, 28. Yeah. I just, if interested.
But going back to who else should show up, Ananomi says we need Quark. I mean, I could see Quark.
Ooh.
I could see Neelix showing up, because he could probably get here by then. I mean, that's how many years after Voyager's returned? A few.
5?
Yeah. So they dropped him off kind of close by-ish.
It's only 42,000 light years away, yeah.
Wow. Technology's improving and stuff, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, well, to be fair, he could always use the Herogen network and send a holographic message of himself. But it was interactive. But yeah. Quark's good. I don't quite I'm not the biggest fan of the Picard reference that he franchised his bar. Feels a bit impersonal. Him being kind of never quite getting success is part of the charm. But if this ship doesn't dock at DS9, that'd be a crime. Because why not? And then you get to have... Can you imagine this lady, Mariner?
Yeah.
She's drinking at Quark's bar. And that's why Morn's there. Wouldn't that be just perfect? She's just... Or you know... Like, that fits in. You know? And then you could always have the... You referenced the Voyager, where the Orion lady walks up and Quark's trying to, sell her something, and instead of Kim, who warned her who was warned by Paris, you could have Boimler saying, "Ooh, good deal, buy two, buy two." It says the opposite, being a bad influence because she's a bit drunk. That'd be fun. That'd be a good sort of,
I just want to address something. Jill47 says, but her mom doesn't seem old enough to have a 37-year-old daughter. She absolutely does seem old enough. She's even got a gray streak in her hair. Her hair is not dark. It's kind of a darker gray. It's not like a black. It's almost like she is an older lady. And we've seen a lot of older captains and older admirals in TNG.
Old admirals especially, yeah.
Yeah, so I think she's absolutely looks old enough to have a 37-year-old daughter. If the character's 37, but I don't think Mariner's 37.
But with modern tech, I mean, she could easily be in her 50s or 60s easily.
Mm-hmm.
The other admiral looked kind of old too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go grey straight, and women get grey hair a lot later than men anyway. So
unless it's a fashion statement, and then they can do whatever. But
well, I mean that's the thing. It's all a choice. I mean, purple hair is a choice.
Is it though? I thought it was natural.
Hey, maybe they interbred with. Maybe he's a descendant of who the hell knows what. But yeah, Mariner. I mean, the fact that she's so confident kind of reminds me of Captain Jack from Doctor Who. That confidence allows for a lot of potential interactions you wouldn't otherwise have. Like, I wouldn't have expected at the end of the episode, and I've got her still here, for her just shouting lower decks. Because that seems so different to her character at the start of the episode, being pissed off with life a bit. But she's kind of found it, she's not broken. She's not like broken down by Starfleet, she's just has good and bad days. And she can be energetic when she wants to be. So, she's still a good officer. She's just more, what's the word when you swap moods quickly? Bipolar.
Bipolar.
Like, she's more on that spectrum, I'd say. Whereas like the Orion lady is just positive,
King of ICYS Hyuga puts in $2 with no comment, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Jay Taylor says she has the eye lines, which is standard mom animation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And good old gamer, I'm 39 and mum is only 60.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah.
She's not old, especially in the world of Star Trek. Unless you're Patrick Stewart or Captain Picard, and then you're just a tired old man. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, we're just chatting. This is all fun conjecture about the characters, just dedicated on the characters. But I think she's going to grow a lot, and I think she's going to be... The fact that she threw out more references than almost anybody is interesting. Like, that probably shows you that she is what Boimler... What's his name?
Oh, Boimler.
Boimler. I get Boimler.
No. See, that's the mistake that the captain made. Boimler.
Bumder. That's an in joke. I get the sense she is what he was. Like, she is who he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But she's learned the lessons of command can sometimes lay out to dry, and therefore try and teach him now. And so that's, I think, going to be, a parallel there. Otherwise, why would she be so infused by, Sulu and Gary Mitchell? Those references make more sense for him than her, and yet she was given them. Mm-hmm. So I get the sense she's basically, and if they do fancy each other by the end, that makes a lot of sense that they are just same but different.
Well, and she's seasoned. She's been demoted. She's been on 5 ships. Like, she's got a history there, and it's going to be really cool to see how that plays out. Mark Lawrence, though, throws in $5.
Hey, Mark.
It says, insanity at work. Just glad to be here. Well, we're glad to have you, Mark. And sorry about work.
Everything. Yeah.
But
yeah, then we have Mrs. Oh no, the next one's the engineer chap. I was expecting him to be, you know, the least focused on, and he was, and yet he still got quite a lot of screen time, which in itself shows the ambition to give them all real story.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah.
Well, he's interesting because I know we see in the trailer he takes out a squad of Borg, probably on the holodeck, but so he, because of his implants, like he's learning all this new stuff. It's new to him. I do like the fact it's a Vulcan one. I think that's fun, and the fact that he's now is it bad that they're making, because he's an engineer, he's totally messed up this date with this lady? Is this like referring to Geordi in some way? Because Geordi was never good with the ladies. Well, that being said, remember the lady that he did really well with at the end of season 3 in that one episode, and he thanked the alien for the confidence and everything was going good between them, and then she's just forgotten about in season 4.
Oh no, it's true. They dated for 6 years. You just never heard about it.
Oh,
moved in together, and it was a whole thing. Wouldn't that be a great retcon? So like, oh, I was married once before. You what? Oh yeah, they got that lady from TNG because the aliens. Yeah, it's great. It's like, what?
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think that either is intentional or not intentional. A Geordie reference.
Too focused on his job, too good at his job to really have the social life. Yeah, I don't know. I wish it wouldn't have been the same kind of character. I wish it was like not an engineer that was this in this position. Because just like, are you really copying Geordi? You got a face implant. You know, you're an engineer. It's like, what's going on?
That's interesting. I hadn't even considered that. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably not the case. Probably not the case. But I know a lot of people would make that assumption. So. Yeah.
That is true.
And I could see Geordi doing the exact same thing as an ensign. Why isn't this door working? No, we got to fix this for the captain. Don't kiss me. Yeah.
No, I'm just taken aback by that excellent observation. I don't know how to counter that. I just respond to it. It's like, that's so apt. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I'm wondering like where he's going to go from that. Because is this the sort of show that it's episodic, which is great, but is it the sort of show where the characters can actually develop? I saw an interesting comment on our reviews saying, do we really want them to be ensigns for 7 seasons? You know what I mean?
That's a good point, but then it takes, the show's name is Lower Decks. It's like it offers no room for advancement of these characters, unfortunately.
Well, I think the ones in Voyager weren't ensigns. I think they were slightly broad in rank. I mean, maybe not higher than lieutenant. But I think you can get lieutenant quite happily. Yeah,
you can do lieutenant and still be in Lower Decks, absolutely. But
so one promotion every 3 years, 3 seasons.
Sure, it works.
But to be yeah.
And Jill 47 says, "What do you think about that break in Rutherford's eyebrow? What do you think it's about?" I don't know. What's the break in O'Neill's eyebrow in Stargate? What's that about? He's got one too. Anyway.
And what's up with you all having no eyebrows?
Hey, I have eyebrows. They're blonde.
They're green screened out without green screen.
You should see me with eyebrows. Cassie painted eyebrows on me once.
Yes.
It was freaking terrifying.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
No,
I want to do.
I have a picture.
One of the Halloweens at my old university, one of the people I knew, like literally spray dyed their hair. That'd be so fun at one point, just like spray it white, like see how you would look, like fully white hair or yellow hair or blonde, like because you know they're a little expensive for the better ones, but it seemed very effective. So I was thinking like short films, just like you know, like dyeing your eyebrows or whatever, would be quite effective. With something like change. But in terms of cut eyebrow, I mean, why not? I mean, why has he got a weird curved mohawk?
Because they needed to shave his head for the implant. He figured, I'll just even it out.
Give me a comb over.
No, please stop with the comb overs. Nobody should do comb overs.
Wouldn't it be great? It's like
they're awful.
Hiding all the shiny metal through like like the Fifth Element villain, just like the hair coming over like all the metal. I mean, he's probably going to be the butt of more jokes, kind of. I mean, more parallels to Red Dwarf here, like Crichton a little bit. In the sense, he's more the engineer, the science guy. But I wouldn't be surprised if they all have the ability to quote tech, to understand situations, just more in their own field. Because the thing is, Boimler's command track, but with the pilot slant, it seems, from the episode we see. The lady is just generic operation command, I guess.
Probably.
And then
There's a lot of ops on this ship, so.
And you've got medical and engineering. So you've got, each one kind of their own specialities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, guys, 180 people watching, which is great. 100, yes, 104 likes. Hopefully more. I want to see more. Many, many more.
Well, let's talk about Tindy now. Tendy.
Also, a quick note. I just noticed this. See what you think is better. I hadn't even thought to do this, but I found some promotional art for Lower Decks, and it has the chap we're just talking about looking different. What do you think is better? Just trying to load it up. Because it changes the feel.
Should have loaded it up then asked me.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Then you would have seemed clever.
Yeah. So in this version, all of his implant stuff is real bright. I didn't notice that.
And that could happen later on as the implant gets more. It could develop over the course of the series. Or they could have just decided to tone it down because it was distracting or something. But I kind of prefer the blue, honestly. It makes it feel more technology-wise, technical, because it's lit up. I don't know. Might have just been a creative decision to tone it down or change it.
Oh, and Jay Taylor says, I didn't notice the implant as I was pixelated deliberately. Didn't notice it either.
Yeah, it's not square like a Bender eye.
That's hilarious.
But it is like an octagon, yeah.
Because I much prefer the subtle approach. It looks more practical to me, grounded, rather than just like, look, blinky, sci-fi blinky. Like you know what I mean? You just see a guy, whereas with the big bright blue, and also the way there's light inside the ear, it doesn't look like an ear anymore. It looks like part of the tech, whereas it being not bright. Yeah.
That's a good catch. I'm glad you caught that because good call.
Thanks. But yes, the Orion, fresh character.
I'm excited to see her character develop. I love the fresh-faced new ensign, and she's very energetic and optimistic. And we got to learn about the Orions because we saw them in Enterprise, and the situation with them controlling the men on their planet. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Whether, as we talked about yesterday, I think the pheromone suppressants. Maybe she has to take medication or something. If that'll be mentioned at all, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean, you don't want to have it be, speciesist that all Orions need to take suppressing drugs to just exist.
Well, to work with, because they have influence over people because of them. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, we've never quite got an answer about how and where. I could see it being, rather than something that literal, be that in mid TMP, there was a subset of Orions that said, no, we've had enough of this. We want to exist as part of the Federation. We're gonna, genetically engineer ourselves to turn that off. And then she's 13th generation of that subset of the who chose to move away from that side, and because I think that'd be kind of an odd storyline that she has to take a pill every day to suppress her sexy orgy vibes, because she seems too nice for that. Because it'd be weird if we still have an episode where she's walking around and everyone's going after her. It's like, oh, but she's too cute for that. But especially if you're in Starfleet, that's quite a lot of time to be part of this brand, big big thing. Now, I also found their first names.
Good job.
Thank you. So let me do them in order. So Tawny Newson is a Beckett Mariner. Her first name is Beckett. Not really a first name, but okay, sure.
Sam Beckett.
Exactly. Boimler is Brad.
Brad Boimler. Yeah. Okay.
He looks like Brad, doesn't he? Just like, yep, Brad. It's like Dave. You know. But a bit more interesting. Orion's name is Divana.
Yeah, we knew that one.
Yep. Mr. Augment. Guess his name.
Jordy.
Nope.
Samuel.
Sam.
Sam Rutherford.
Woo! I'm half in Star Trek as what I can only assume as a, Hawaiian cyborg man. Yay!
Bad with the ladies.
I mean, there isn't many Sams in Star Trek. You know what? No, not bad with the ladies. He did great with the ladies until the last moment. He got kissed on the first date through a zombie outbreak. That means he's really good with the ladies. He just doesn't know how to be more than that. But hey, I'm proud of that. Captain Carol.
Well, her name is Carol Freeman. Yeah.
Carol Freeman. Commander Jack Ransom. We knew that. Trax hasn't got a second name. Yeah. So yeah, Beckett, Brad, Divana, Sam. There you go. Cool.
Yeah, that's what I had seen earlier today, and I'm like, I gotta remember that link, but I lost it. So anyway, Jeff Jacobs, 218, 118 likes, awesome. Again at 150 and 200. Hashtag Nick Jeff Bay. 171 of you here. That should be easy to get to 150. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. And chime in with what you think about the characters and what you're looking forward to, or ideas you might have. Let us know.
And Ed Fleming, I'd like to see Trekyards guys make an appearance.
That'd be cool.
I think the Trekyards guys would like to see Trekyards guys make an appearance too. We have our own microphones. Just saying, we can do. Yep. Hey, maybe we could run. Maybe we could be. They could go to Memory Alpha, and we can just be at a desk. We could be the help desk guys. Oh, you want to know about a ship? No? Warp cores! We've got a new warp core design. No? Interested? No? And you can be saying, 3 nacelle dreadnoughts, we want them back. Sign a petition. More 3 nacelle dreadnoughts. I've got a petition for Planitia. I just need...
That'd be great.
300,000 more signatures. How many have you got? It's not important. It writes itself.
It does.
And I could say, this Commander Cochran's guy, he's written a paper. Sleek. The word of the future.
The USS Sleek. Or the Sleek Development Project.
Every ship needs to be sleek of, yeah. Oh yeah, he coined the phrase Prometheus goes for. Sleek drive. It's called being arrow pointy shaped and warp. It goes sleek fast, sleek drive. But yes, no, I like this character. She's fun. She's, as Mike said, the showrunner. She's a fan of Star Trek, in Star Trek. And her naivety is always interesting because it allows you to be a perspective character for the audience, and she doesn't seem dumb. Always she wouldn't be, assigned to a starship. Although this is again not a high-end starship, but she's really fresh off the boat, as it were.
The Trembler makes a good comment. Wait a second, a character named Sam and a character named Beckett. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Now we just need one named Al. And Ziggy. But yeah. Let's see, what have we got here? So we talked about the captain a little bit. We haven't really talked about Jack yet, Jack Ransom.
Well,
it'd be great if he was connected to the Ransom from Equinox.
It has
in some
to be.
way.
He has to be. If it was too intentional not to be, Like, there's thousands of names, possibly millions of names. So Ransom feels like deliberate, and I mean, would they even know? I mean, to be fair, would Voyager even give the dark truth about Ransom? Would she? You know, this guy was a really well-respected guy before he lost his mind, in a sense. So she might put her logs forward, but would they say Ransom, war criminal against the species, memory destroyed? It's like just one incident for self-preservation. I guess, well, lots of small versions ruin his career. Of course it doesn't. How could it? All the good he's done, you know.
See, I think that's something that the top tier admirals might know, but it wouldn't. It would just be like the tragedy of Ransom and his crew. Where they,
I'm sure he would know.
That's what I assume they would do.
Because he would Google it, you know, memory alpha it. But why would everyone else know what happened to him at the end? But he's, you know, like I say, he's the uncle he doesn't like talking about. Or his uncle he's very proud of, you know. Yeah, definitely needs to be mentioned. Or it could even be his son. I mean, bit far, but a legitimate son. Oops. Almost one of his many first contacts. He came back for a second contact, and then a second Ransom was born. Yeah. But yeah, he's alright. He's a less interesting Riker. You know, I mean, I can't get the sense these British officers are kind of story fodder. You know, they're there to serve very specific beats in the story, but they're not real characters in the same way. That said, obviously the captain is obviously part of the bigger story, and if you're going to make anyone of the British crew a character, should be the captain, because in the context of the show, captain is the most important person on the ship. So respect your captain.
Remember you said that. I know I'm not your captain. I'm just a captain, so I'll shut up now. I'm not even a captain, so I'll just shut up now. I'll just leave. How's that?
Welcome back to Trekyards, everyone. I'm Captain Foley, and he's Commander. Oh no.
Anyway, Luke Celeste, $5.
Thank you.
Did you say Sam Beckett? Oh boy. Yeah. Love that show. Bargain bin Riker, says Martin S. See, I'm looking. I think I'm gonna like the security officer, the doctor. I'm not sure I'm gonna like Ransom so much. But those two should be entertaining, at least the security officer and the doctor. I think it'll be the humor coming out of these guys. But that could just be me. Jill said she's going to use the doctor's quotes for her names for each episode. So
I expect nothing less.
I can see that. Yeah.
I just hope that they're not played as stupid. You know, I think Starfleet officers are officers for a reason, and you shouldn't play them as buffoons. You can play them as not the most apt in the situation they're in. As in, if you throw a doctor in a wartime situation, they say, you know, command this fleet. Guess what? They're going to be an idiot. But that's nothing against them specifically. So it'd be nice to see if the doctor's going to be very apt, but the Bajoran guy be very tactically sound. Very, I mean, to be fair, we've implied that with him, you know, holding off hordes of zombies. Not obviously zombies, but that's the shorthand. So he's been shown as being capable. Hopefully not the butt of the joke in that he's not capable. But then how far to go with that as an interesting tactical-esque.
Grid Cube asked, what if Perlasky, that's her new name, has a litter and everyone in the ship stops working for a few days to go ooh ah at the kittens? Well, see, I'm more interested to know whether she has a litter box. That'd be funny. Anyway.
And Sean O'Neill says, I hope there's a few I'm a doctor, not a... That's good.
Oh, yes. Yes. It has to be.
And you can do them, you know, to the really rude extreme. You know, I'm a doctor, not a fucking bricklayer.
Or I'm a doctor, not a cartoon. Just something comes up or justify that saying.
I'm a doctor, not your pimp. What? I'm a doctor, not a Klingon sex maniac. I don't know. I couldn't think of very many interesting things there.
I could tell.
Yeah. Because no one laughed. But yeah, the doctor seems fun. I mean, I appreciate it's still an alien. That helps. But I wonder if she could even be the focus of an episode. You know, because I mean, since we've kind of yeah. If you break it down, we've got Orion Lady can have episodes with the Doctor Cat. Mother and daughter can have episodes together as an arcs, and then Tryhard can have scenes with Riker wannabe, and then I guess Engineer with you know, tactical guy. Bit more of a stretch, but sure. So everyone has got kind of their of the bridge crew we can hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
I catch an episode where Ransom is you know, forced to take Boimler, whatever his name is, you know, on a mission, and he's like, I see a lot of me and you, just less talented. It's like, oh, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lines.
I can see Ransom being a jerk. Absolutely. The cocky, yeah. Anywho, okay. I'm looking at IMDb. It says that the main 4 are obviously in 10 episodes. All the other ones say 1 episode, but that's just because only 1 episode's aired. I think that'll get updated as things go on. So, okay. Wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm. And Jill says, who's the engineer? We don't know yet. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we know the engine room is a thing, and we know the Mike, the director chap, as in the whole project, said each episode for the first like 6 is about exploring the ship and the crew. So we're going to see those rooms, and in fact we've got a lot of that in episode 1, but we're going to see more of the ship as we go on. So I'm sure we're going to get a engine room. Ooh, welcome to moment. Because
we did see it in the holodeck. So
we did. As underwhelming as I thought it was, but you know, definitely the ship is a character in this one, and so it'll be nice to see how they utilize it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Wesley should show up. Yeah, I was out gallivanting with this traveler guy, and I decided to rejoin Starfleet. I was at my ex first officer and counselor's wedding, and you know, I'm back down to being an ensign. That'd be funny.
Yeah, by joining Starfleet, joining the Traveller, I accidentally revoked my rank. Oops.
Well, makes you wonder what would happen in that case. He was kind of a dick before he left, so I don't know. Danny Shields though puts in €5.
Thank you.
Billups is the chief engineer, mustache guy. It's in the episode. Oh, that's the let's go have a cold beer after a good second contact guy.
Really?
Lieutenant Commander Andy Billups, played by Paul Scheer. I didn't know he was the engineer. He's wearing the wrong color. He's wearing red, isn't he?
No, he's orange. Well, no, there's the 2. There's the guy that Andy Billups is the guy on the planet with the moustache. Chief Engineering Officer Cerritos.
Oh, Ben Rogers, Lieutenant Commander Stevens must be the other guy.
Well, they did not make that clear, given he was, and he didn't know. I mean, he was just. I thought he was just a tour guide, basically. You know, but hey, moustache guy, Lieutenant Commander.
Don't know.
Shouldn't he be Commander for Engineering? Was Geordie? It was Lieutenant Commander, wasn't he?
Became Commander. I don't know when.
Yeah.
Well.
Let's see. Yeah, Lieutenant Commander. Well, yeah, he had a rank pip and a half when he started TNG, so going up to Commander is quite big there. Yeah.
The Trembler, $5. 1, pheromones aren't a character. Few, but GMO would be okay. Just leave some Orions as were. 2, want to know if Shrax fought in Bajoran Resistance. Oh, I'm sure he did. There's going to be some kind of Cardassian link there.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get like some really harsh flashbacks to him like shooting Cardassians, and then like, hey, wouldn't that be kind of cool? A Marco Lemos cameo as Ducat. Like Ducat tortured him for 6 months, and it's like, wow, that's a surprise. And yes, Geordie was just lieutenant when we took over chief engineer. So yeah, you can be a low rank chief of the engineering.
Mm-hmm. Dave Stelzer puts in $2.
Hi, Dave.
Have Wes animated as the Q Future Wesley version. Oh God, yeah.
I mean,
Q's got to show up at least once in this show. Come on now, this is the perfect opportunity for Q.
yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
It'd be fun to see Miles O'Brien. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. All of them should appear at some point, and that's why I argued to the
Or
other
be
day.
mentioned.
Oh, we meant well, yes, but appearing is the fun bit. Mentioning is dime a dozen. Integrating the story is where the creative comes in. You know, that's what I said about Picard. Each episode should have a legacy character playing a very important part. You know, even if it's small, you need to have security clearance. You phone Starfleet, you get Admiral Chekhov of Federation security. Like in Renegades, you need spy credentials from DS9. You get Major Kira, who's in charge of, you can easily have legacy people, but I guess their paycheck is going to be a large chunk of any budget of episodes, so it's kind of like you've got to use them sparingly. But audio, I mean, they're much lower bracket of money, and if you're paid on the day, you can do several episodes worth of recording in one day. So it's a very efficient way of getting them per buck, unless you really don't want to throw money at it, which is okay, fine, but you're going to get kudos for it.
Yeah. And then, of course, the ship herself is the best character. The Cerritos. Yeah.
Well, I think she's growing on people.
I like it now. It's not the best looking design, obviously, but it's not ugly. It's kind of cool.
Well, it's like a poor man's TNG Miranda. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a Miranda pieces, but we're poor as shit, so we've got to have holes everywhere. Like, we can't have a full saucer, we can't have full pylons, our nacelles are put together scrap, but and we can't afford into torpedo launchers, so we've got just a, it's not a roll bar, it's a bar. We can't even afford the roll torpedo bits.
Danny Shields, €5.
Thank you.
Miles should be teaching at the academy for several years by this time, so he could show up as Rutherford's former professor.
Ooh.
Yeah, or just be mentioned. Yeah, in O'Brien's class, I had to do this. Or yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, you warp back to Earth, and they're doing repairs, and he beams down to the academy. You get to see replication of the, botanical gardens. He walks in, O'Brien's there, and then we see, Molly's there. We get to see, hey, Molly, be the lady back as the voice actress. How cool would that be? Just because, And that's the difference between whereas in Picard and Discovery, we hope references and bringing people back, and obviously they were never going
killing
to.
them.
Well, yes, that too. I mean, you can't not bring Manu back and killing him. There's things we've not asked for. It's like, let's bring back a legacy character. Oh, we're going to kill him.
Yeah.
But this show is like, I can hope again. It's nice. Oh, and Devereaux says, yes, I keep saying ensign's not the lowest of the low. There are crewmen and chiefs to order around. So true. I wonder if they're going to address that. Yeah. So true.
Luke Celeste, $5 Canadian. They should go to the Guardian of Forever and fix Discovery.
I mean,
somebody should.
Forever episode. That would be good animated, because that'd be a reference as well to the animated series that had an episode of that.
Yeah.
So that I could see being a very, I mean, it's a ballsy one to go back to, but I mean, come on. We have a time suit built pre-TOS that's unlimited power of time and space. So at this point, they've already broken time travel concepts. So just, bring it back. It's fine. But can you imagine Orion Girl standing next to her this is the Guardian of Forever? I want an autograph. I do not do autographs. Yeah, but if I just, press against you and then you'll... No!
Since long before your sun burned bright in the sky, I have not been asked for an autograph.
For autographs. $10 for a selfie. That's so stupid.
God damn.
That's such a
Yes.
I should write that. That'd be a great short. He's a tourist attraction and he charges for selfies.
Danny Shields puts in €5. Boothby's Ghost. Boothby's ghost.
I mean, why not see Boothby walking around if we cut back to Starfleet Academy? Doesn't have to be dead, you know? Have him walking around. Do it, you know? Do it.
The Guardian goes runnings for Quatloos. Does runnings. Oh.
I'll have to pay Harlan Ellison's estate. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it. Or you could call it the Guardian of Never. Have it be the lower decks version. It's like on the top of the planet was the Guardian of Forever. All time and space. Guardian of Never was the bottom of the planet. And he just takes you back to last Tuesday.
Or just back 13 seconds in time.
It just takes you back to when you appear on the planet. It's just like literally just that one little...
Oh, Matt meant rubbings. The Guardian does rubbings for Quatloos, yeah. Michael Smith, $5. If they firmly tie this show into Discovery or Picard somehow, would that affect how you feel about the show? Would you prefer it or not?
That's a good question, to be fair.
If it's done, depends how it's done. I'd like to think that Discovery and Picard are kind of their own thing. But there's potential here to do that, considering where it is in the timeline. So if it's done well, I have no issues with it. Taking the things from the show and making it and saying it's canon is confusing, because do we want it to be? I mean, it's the most canonical show so far from the new Trek, but at the same time, it's like it's silly and quirky. So they could reference larger things and not necessarily make a joke out of it or have a, you know. So I'm fine with that, I guess, as long as it's done well, as I said.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfair to tarnish something based on something else directly. That's not really fair. If they literally had... If they'd had Discovery Klingons clearly replacing Klingons in this show as the direct reference, then yes, Discovery is her Trek. The fact they don't is good, is a good sign. Yeah. You know, if you want to have a descendant of Stamets voiced by... forgotten the guy's name.
So have I. You got me off guard.
Stamets.
Yes. God damn. I can't think of it right offhand. Sorry.
Paul. You know, if you have a descendant of his, and... Although I guess he's gay, so it would have to be a descendant of his and not Culber's.
Anthony Rapp.
There you go. And have Anthony come and voice, because he's a big Trek fan. That'd be fun. I'm all fine with that. But if you start having a Spore Drive episode, that would be letting the side down. But I think Mike is a smarter writer than that. You know, you learn from the mistakes of previous Treks and previous anything. That's how you grow. But it, you know, wouldn't diminish the show particularly. But it would, you know, be a shame. But they've managed to avoid all that so far. You know, it's like the Discovery Prize in Picard didn't ruin Picard, but it was like, oh, you're doing that, are you?
Yeah, well, it negates that being prime timeline, unfortunately.
There
Danny Shields, €5.
Thank you.
It would be great if the ensigns discover evidence of the Discovery and its mission, but nobody believes them. Oh, Discovery. Never heard of that ship. What do you mean, Ensign? I found it. I found a reference to it.
That's also a fun idea, you know. Not how you do that, but... Or just, like, find the saucer, just, like, floating. It's like, oh, my God. What is this ship?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Daniel's Hot Topics. Just saw this show. It was too silly. Well, I guess
Well,
you're
it's not for you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're like Family Guy, South Park, American Dad, you know. Great comedies that are silly. And that's fine, you know. I'm sure, like, a 90-year-old woman probably isn't going to be the biggest fan of South Park. And that's okay. You know? That's okay. We don't all like everything.
That being said, my grandma loved Benny Hill. She thought it was hilarious. So, you know, just that kind of humor
Isn't Benny Hill really old?
Well, yeah, but it's not humor for old people.
But, no.
Anyway, Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $5. I'm back. LOL. Had to run the AAA card up to my brother. Had to beat the tow truck there. Well, that's exciting.
Okay.
Luke Celeste. Hope your brother's okay with this car. $5. If they show a disco Klingon and them say, "Poor guy, genetic is a lottery." Yeah, I'm. This is the show that would do that. They would have a Klingon in the background that would be one of the Discovery Klingons and not necessarily reference it, or they'd make a joke out of it. So I hope that's the case. I would feel better, but at the same time, I don't want to see Discovery Klingons ever again. So,
well, I mean, they last year, I would have said, you know what, bring all the Klingons. You know, go into Discovery season 2. If you're going to show Klingons, now you're going to see L'Rell. Have there be smooth heads, ridge heads, Discovery. Fix the canon that you've messed up in season 1. So show them all. Now having them double down on them while improving them, it's like no, just don't use them again. We don't need those sorts of broken Klingons in this show. You don't need them. Don't use them. You know, it's a sign they're moving away from them. It was a mistake. It wasn't. It was one guy's mistake. It was Brian Fuller's mistake. Who, you know, fair to say he's an odd chap and he wanted something visually very different. And that's fine if he was able to pull his vision forward, but he was changed out of his vision, which means that we got his vision then forced into a different something. It's just, you know, yeah, leave those in the past.
Yes. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's fine. He got 2 flats, only has 1 spare. LOL.
Ooh.
That's a shitty situation. So good to know that he's fine.
Ooh, the media ISS Ritos. That's what can a mirror universe version of this show be like?
I'm sure they're going to touch that. I'm sure they're going to do that. It'll be fun.
That. Well, I guess the Orion would be a sex therapist in the ship, or a sex slave, or a captain's first woman. Any of those or above. Boimler's probably whatever. The Black Lady's probably killed the captain, taken over.
Probably. I wanted the captain's chair.
She demoted her mum to ensign. She cut her arm off. She's now the captain. The engineer guy, he's is the opposite. The rest of his face is a robot. Only that bit is human. And now he's got like guns that come out of his arms and stuff. So the exact opposite. And then the Boimler's exactly the same. Same in both universes. Just not qualified enough to be captain. That would be funny. I'd enjoy that.
Ozzy Maderos puts in $5.
Ozzy!
I loved Benny Hill even when he slapped his head on slapped his friend on the head. Skeleton hands. Yeah, his little bald friend. Kicks him in the butt.
Oh, Ed Fleming has a good idea. They're Klingons, but it's a long story. And we don't discuss with outsiders.
Yeah,
they could do that as well. That would be an acceptable double joke.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, should we do quick fire question super chat, guys?
Sure.
I want to know if you've got any questions. Can you quick fire us some $1 to $5 super chat, or just normal questions about the cast? Challenge us with: do we think they'll do this? Do we think they'll do that? Do we think this? Quick fire, and we'll do some quick Q&A as we've reached a natural conclusion to the conversation, and make us think. We're here. We're ready. Stuart, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Broken speaker, though. Just got here. I've watched it 3 times, and I love this show. I still like Discovery and Picard, but this I loved. We are supposed to not like the senior crew right away in the show, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to dislike them. It's just there's a context of they take glory.
They take all the credit, yeah.
I don't even think they're realizing it. You know,
doing their jobs, making the logs. You know, the log would say, yeah, the doctor identified a slime that neutralized the virus.
Yeah.
Don't have to mention how the slime got to the ship, but. Anyway.
Quick fire, guys.
I don't think I'm going to get any rapid fire.
Oh,
there we go. Steve Der Gamer, €2. I want Wesley Crusher in lower decks.
Is that a question?
No.
I would like him to. I think Will be.
I think it'd be better in Picard though if they could work him in.
Both. I mean, both. You know.
Old Taku DD, $5. Will they touch on the Orion girls' pheromones or ignore it? I think it'll be mentioned at least once.
Hey, at least it wasn't the first thing he said. Well, you're pretty, but aren't you pheromone sex driven? No. But yeah, I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. Broken speaker, $2. Money. Thank you.
Great question, great answer. Joseph, do you think I'll visit DS9? Yes, I really do.
That'd be cool. Dave Stelzer, $2. How about some holodeck TV movies? There's a lot of potential for the holodeck in this, and I think we're going to see it quite a bit. So, yeah, that'd be kind of neat. Movie spoofs.
They should do Boimler, where he's doing a Dixon Hill holodeck program.
That's the other thing. You can have any of the original characters turn up in a holodeck program.
Yeah.
Like, perfect.
But they've got to feel like their character's justified, because why would LeVar Burton come back after 15 years to be a holodeck? You know what I mean? You've got to give him a real role. But wouldn't it be fun to have Boimler play Dixon Hill for like a first scene of an episode, and he's just the worst at it? Like, he hasn't done any research to the period, he just knows that Picard loves it, and he's just like, this room is really not... And it's a very, very good replica of the room. Like, that is exactly TNG. He's just bad. Like, really bad at the game. That'd be good. That'd be fun. Bit on the nose, but he's a fan. I can imagine him doing that.
Michael Smith, $2. Will there be war featured in the show? Ooh. Probably not. And did I get cut off again?
Yes.
They're kind of getting away from the dark dystopian vibe. I can see a second contact. Either they find out during the second contact they're actually the planet's at war with somebody or something, causing a problem with second contact. But I don't think it's going to be a main part of the show.
I mean, war is a very elaborate form of conflict. I can see there being some space battles and some conflict. Like, we know there's that creature with the pincers. Like, that's a conflict. Like, give them a time travel episode into the Dominion War, then you get a Dominion War episode. So maybe, but find a clever slant on it. Northwest Rail fan, do you guys think they'd do a TOS character cameo or two? The window is definitely closing on bringing the TOS actors back. Yes, earlier in the live I said bring back George and Walter. They are still full of beans. Shatner is expensive, but still, it just sounds like old Shatner, and that's okay. If it's a good story.
And like we said, yeah, just the holodeck program would work with that, or bring back maybe Sulu's still alive. Who knows? It's never mentioned what happened to him. So, same with Chekhov, who was the youngest out of all of them. So sure. Danny Shields, €5. Why does everybody have so much trouble pronouncing Boimler? From Katwelski to Trek Central to you guys, Boimler. I said it right when I said it.
Well,
you need to hear it more.
I mean, it's like saying, how do we know how when there was no trailers and only written things, how can they not pronounce Shinjo? Because it's not a word in the English language or American language that we've ever heard before. We'll take time to hear them and understand them. Like, it takes time to learn things. Some people instant, that's fine, but most people not. So we've watched one episode with him. They might say his name twice, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times, and you're not watching it to learn his name. Give us a couple of episodes. It's a weird name. Sorry, it's not a normal name. Give us a couple. You might have got it. Most people haven't. And that's okay.
Yeah. Michael Smith, $2. Will any of them make commander or captain? In time travel episode maybe, or in the Mirror Universe maybe. I don't know. We've kind of talked about them, leveling up, ranking up, I guess, during the course of it. It goes for 7 years, but who knows? I would say no, probably not. The last episode of the series could be their futures, where they're all like captains and laughing about their days, being lower decks. Who knows? But I don't know if anybody's going to get a promotion necessarily. So.
Oh yeah, nothing that extreme, but I can definitely see some future forward, as we often do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fun. Be fun.
Yeah. Michael Smith, $2.
Thank you.
Best guess: will Enterprise show up this season? No, but it's going to be referenced at least once.
I do feel like we're gonna have Patrick Stewart cameo just because they want to cross promote with Picard.
Now that you've said that, yep, it's going to show up, and he's going to be on the view screen.
Yeah.
We need your help. Like, the Enterprise needs our help. Whoa, what?
We spilled a drink.
Flagship. The Enterprise is the flagship of this fleet, son. They want our help.
The green girl's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You know. And the black lady's like, oh no, god, oh, no. Served on the D. Don't. Yeah. I can see there being a distinct, or a signal. Captain, signal coming in from the Gamma Terrace sector. Who is it? Captain Picard. Picard? Putting it through. Hello, Captain. Yeah. I mean, he's on contract, so why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't they? You know, I'm sure they could.
It'd be even funnier if one of the lower decks, because something happened on the ship, they intercept the communication and they have to relay it to the captain, but the captain doesn't believe them that they were talking to Picard, because I mean, there's lots of stuff you could do in that regard too.
Or go Bullock with it. Boimler is in the holodeck doing a training program with Picard on Enterprise D or E or whatever, and he's pissing off holographic Picard because he's not very good. He's too nervous. So even holographic Picard is annoyed with him. You know, that could be kind of fun. Just like the classic training program. You know, like they said in Picard. I bet it's still even on the brochures.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, welcome stuff. Or you could have it. Oh, that'd be great. You could have as they go down to a planet for taking contact. They could say, right, we're gonna play the welcome to the Federation video, and it's in like a the chips. Isolating a chip, and it's da 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 da. This is, hello, I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and welcome to the Federation. You know, standing next to this holographic emitter is the captain of the USS Cerritos, and they are here proudly to, you know, that could be, that could be.
That'd be good.
That'd be very, very good.
Aravic Sonder, $2. Do you think Q will show up? Yes, but maybe not QQ, maybe AQ. There will be AQ. I don't know if it'll be John Delancey. I knew you were going to do that. But yeah, I think there will be a Q showing up.
I think a season 2 or season 3. But yes. And that's the sort of actor who looks old, who can put the energy in an audio performance.
Yeah.
You know? But Stuart, isn't the fact that in this live we come up with some really solid ideas for this season? This format, none of those ideas we could pitch in Picard or Discovery. Like, this show has so much potential. So much potential, you know? Oh.
And we'll probably come up with even more tomorrow when we talk about what's coming up in the season. We'll get the season preview and go through the pictures and talk about what we think they mean and what might be coming up. So, yeah, it'll be a good live tomorrow.
And good old gamer Nas, we Locutus Wilborg. That would be a deep cut, wouldn't it? Locutus is back. What? And Mike's like, I always like that Armada 2 storyline. Wow, deep knowledge there, Mike. Jesus. Pretty funny though. It's a clone of Picard. That just sounds ridiculous. I know, but it's from the 90s. Anyway, guys, who wants to be the very last super chat? It's currently Aravic, but are people gonna let him have that?
And hit like. If you haven't hit like yet, hit like before you leave. Hit like. But yeah, there's the last super chat slots open, guys, if you're interested. Otherwise, Aravic, you've won.
I mean, technically it was closed because he got it, but until we say last super chat slot, you know what I mean? It's not open.
I feel you.
But you know what? Because we're, good. I'm gonna put a timer on the screen. I'm gonna give
Danny
people...
Shields.
Oh.
Puts in €5.
Ooh.
Does seeing Orion from an Orion's perspective, making the vision from the cage canon for their society, introduce implications about the syndicate? That's
a deep question.
Detailed, yeah.
Was that meant to be Orion?
Yeah, yeah, it was the whatever center on Orion. She even said
No,
so.
no, no, in cage.
Oh,
I didn't think that
no,
was
I don't.
Orion.
I don't think so. I didn't think it was Orion either. It was just like a dive bar on some planet somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. The syndicate is just the underbelly. I mean, all species, all races have it. So
Okay, 3 minutes timer starts now. So now we're in the eBay bid war style, where you now have, yes, you know the end.
there we go. It's going. All right. Jill 47 puts in $1. Smiley face with $ eyes.
That's a quite good
Thank
emoji.
you, Jill.
And guys, we're at 149 likes. That is so close. I mean, there is no closer to 150, is there, in terms of likes? So, I want to see 150. like we are as close as possible. So, somebody,
We can do it.
hey,
You can do it.
We
It's up to
did
you
it.
guys. There you go.
Been honest,
You do it.
150 is so close to 160. Like, it's so close. No, we lost a like. Wow, someone lost a like on purpose. Now we're so close again. 152. 8 more likes to 160. We're so close again. 2 minutes to go on to 160. Yeah, and then tomorrow we're doing this
A
series
prediction video.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
This season on.
And do check out a video that came out today. It was Holodeck versus Orville First Impressions. That's specifically on the kind of comedy and stylistic side. Check that out. It's a very focused discussion about the two franchises. And yes, that came out accidentally yesterday. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was weird.
I noticed it like an hour in. We had 300 views, and I was like, ugh! But YouTube now lets us re-private and re-time it, which is great. That's a feature that was not around a year ago. So that was great.
Well, Danny Shields is now the last super chat holder as of right now, which is with €5. But the architecture in the cage matches Tendy's holodeck program.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Well, let me go back and look at the cage then. In this last minute, I got 1 minute 13 seconds. See if we can corroborate this. Right. Doesn't work if you're not talking, Stuart. Although, what do you mean? Do you mean... Do they show an exterior in that scene, or do they not?
Do they show what in that
An
scene?
exterior. I don't think they do. He's just in a bar.
Yeah, I don't know what they're referring to specifically because I didn't see anything familiar, but...
Yeah, but they're doing really deep stuff, aren't they? So I'm not surprised. Alright, let's have a
Jeff
look.
Jacobs, 258, 159, paying on dislikes 2 this time. Hashtag make Jeff pay. And Fleet Paw puts in $2. Super sniping from Fleet Paw. So Fleet Paw's now got the last super chat slot.
I mean, it's got those, like, twirly... I got 17 seconds to find...
Arabic Sonder, $1. He's in the last slot. Arabic.
Oh my god, it's so tense! Raw file, let's have a look. Got 5
Pillars
seconds.
in the cage are identical. I mean, there's pillars on Earth that look the same as that too, though. It's just an architectural thing. It's not necessarily a style.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they are.
Fleet Paw switchback $2. Cool, he says. So Fleet Paw wins.
No,
That's
no,
0 seconds.
I mean, no, he is right. There's little twirly pillars which are, apart from the top, they're identical, and then there's...
Yeah, but there's those. They're on Earth here too. They've been using all various cultures. Those twirly kind of style pillars.
Yeah,
So
but that's attention to detail, isn't it?
I don't know, but the time's up, so we need to end this.
Okay, bye
live
guys. See you tomorrow. Bye everyone. We love you. Bye. Who's last super chat? Call them out.
tomorrow.
Call them out.
I did Fleet Paw.
Great. Well done. Bye.